Today I'm spending time in the rose garden deadheading, and while I'm doing it I will share why I do it, whether it's worth it, and what are the cases where you don't want to deadhead roses. And look at my Eden rose. Even in this semi-shade environment, Eden produces wonderful quiet show. This is a rose I'm definitely taking in my future garden, and I want to grow it in full sun to bring the best of it. But meanwhile, look at this. Beautiful, isn't it? Sometimes gardeners are wondering, why are all these rosarians rushing at the first sight of fading blooms, and they're so quick to take them off? For example, look at this one. Or let me see, maybe this one. Well, this one is a little bit, still has a little power in it, so it will open up. But for example, this one is already faded. The petals are still staying on the flower, but I'm taking it out. Why am I doing it? Well, there is a big reason. If the rose is a repeat bloomer, we want to cut the hip, because hips are enormous consumers of plants' energy. Sometimes up to 70% of plants' energy goes into creating hips. And we want our roses to focus creating flowers. And if we take away the hip, rose needs to create another hip, right? And before hip, there is a bloom, because rose ultimately needs to create the seed to promote the future generations, which is not really happening in roses, but that's a plant's life pattern. And if we deadhead rose, take away that hip, that energy is being redirected and we get more blooms. So this is reason number one. And why don't we let petals to fall, or the bloom to gracefully age? Well, those petals, when they fall, they create a lot of mass at the bottom. My Lady of Shalott, my beautiful Lady of Shalott, is good at keeping petals off the leaves, so petals do not get stuck on the leaves. But sun roses, Olivia is famous for it, they are not good like that, so petals get stuck on the leaves, and that brings diseases, congestion, all sorts of stuff. So we do have to be quick to deadhead roses if we don't want to have mass on the leaves or at the bottom. And do I clean at the base? Yes, I do. I try to get rid of all those fallen petals if I didn't get them here at this stage, and keep it nice and orderly at the bottom, because we don't want to spread any of the diseases. So this is what I'm going to do with Lady of Shalott, and I'm trying to deadhead right now to the first stem with 5 leaflets. And why is that? This famous rule that you have to cut to first leaflets. Well, if the stem is able to produce a strong leaf with 5 leaflets, it means it can support a good bloom. So if there is only a thin stem, you see like this one, 2 leaves, 1, 3 leaves, and finally 5 leaves, but then again 3. You see how skinny this stem is? If I cut here, deadhead here, this stem is going to produce a puny rose, and we won't have this nice, beautiful, big bloom which we want from our Lady of Shalott. So this is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to deadhead all the spent hips, and usually they are in the center. I won't leave these little stumps, right, because they're going to die and we will have this unsightly situation here. And that is it. My Lady of Shalott will have energy to redirect into all these blooms. Wonderful. We have several deadheading types of cuts. So for example, here, if we have a solitary bloom, yes, of course, we will go all the way down to 5 leaflet leaf and cut away everything nice and weak. But if we have something like this, a hip in between 2 roses, we will just get rid of 1 hip without counting any 3 or 5 leaflet leaves. And then when these roses finish blooming, then a different deadheading type cut comes. We cut all this cluster all the way down to first 5 leaflet leaf. We don't do this here. We cut a bigger chunk of the stem down and taking all this division together out. My Lady of Shalott is all ready to bask in the sun. This is morning. Lady of Shalott is opening her blooms, and some roses are better than others to keep blooms open through the night. Look at her. Beautiful, beautiful. And I like to combine this maintenance of cleaning petals with weeding, because you can see how tight that corner is just under the rose. Lady of Shalott at its height. My. Well, we will leave our Lady of Shalott to bask on the sun, and we are going to look at 2 other roses right here, and they are opening their blooms as well. The first one is Vanessa Bell, and it's a yellow rose. It's this rose's best year. And Vanessa Bell really closes her blooms. Look how they're still closed, not open yet. And it's late morning already. So Vanessa Bell has several little hips, so what I'm going to do, I will just deadhead these, let Vanessa Bell continue its charming blooming song here in this corner, right? And then I'm going to do a really good cleaning of Olivia Austin. Well, Olivia Austin is such a strong rose. It has superb disease resistance. Look at this tight corner. I'm trying to grow this rose, right? Any other rose will suffer already from all sorts of stuff. And because of this tight growth, Olivia Austin, you see what happens here? The blooms get stuck on the leaves and then they turn brown. And then they create all sorts of diseases. So a really good cleaning is needed here. Everything underneath has to be cleaned, weeded out. As you can see, there are several weeds here. And our Olivia is going to push its blooms here too. And there are cases where you don't want to deadhead your roses. What are they? If you want to have very colorful hips in your garden, you know that your rose creates wonderful hips, and you don't have to leave all this. Let's say I wanted hips for my Olivia rose. You can deadhead some and then leave your rose alone, and rose will create hips. Roses which are only once blooming, they're not going to rebloom again because you deadheaded. Although my Katrina rose, in my zone 7A, it is once bloomer, and I hear that some gardeners say that in warmer climates, Katrina rebloom again. But clearly, if you have a rose and you know that genetically that rose is equipped only to bloom once a year, you want to have those hips. You don't want to take them down and have no blooms and no hips. In my garden, squirrels take every single hip, so I deadhead all my roses for beautiful blooms. I have only one once blooming rose, which is Adelaide Leans here on the side of my garden. All other ones repeat blooms wonderfully. And one year, my generous gardener was growing in the shade and I did not deadhead it. Guess what? Generous gardener, which is a repeat bloomer, created hips, and those hips stayed there nice and thick waiting for squirrels, and generous gardener never rebloomed. So that's the story with deadheading. And you might say, Olga, it all sounds wonderful, but what in the world do I do with huge, beautiful rose like this? The generous gardener here basking in the sun, and what am I going to do with all these spent blooms? I have to take a ladder, deadhead it. It's a lot of work. Yes, it is. So my way out of it is, because I have two, now that one is joining in, 3 big climbers. What I do, I wait a little bit longer for majority of flowers to be spent, and then I take a ladder and I go through all the cleaning, mowing here, getting rid of all this stuff at the bottom, and do it a little bit later. So let's take a look at my generous garden in that corner and look at Katrina rose, and then I will take you to the front to check my Roald Dahl roses. Also, there is Gabriel oak opening its blooms. So much stuff going on in the garden, you know? It is a good year for roses. We had tough winter. Looks like majority of pests are killed. I saw aphids only once. Rose slugs a little bit, but I caught up quickly, sprayed it, and now it's only cosmetical. Nothing really is bothering my roses. At this point, I would see the beginning of black spot in my garden here in New England. Black spot is the biggest issue. No black spot yet. I'm sure it will come. So here, generous gardener is just being gently deadheaded from the bottom, and all the rest will wait maybe several days. And look at this, we do have a lovely inhabitant in that house, which I made and installed here. Little wrens moved in, and they're so cute. They're sitting among roses and singing their wonderful songs. The new lovey in the garden, Gabriel oak, opened its blooms. Was attacked by sawfly larvae. I took care of it, so there's just cosmetical damage. And today I'm going to take these first blooms. These are first serious blooms in my garden. How cute that is. And there is a weed. Oh, beautiful. I do not like this thorniness. Oh my gosh, is this the beginning of rose rosette disease? Somebody help me. Okay, It doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look right. Take a look at this. Okay, so let's look at the stem. This is the stem, a healthy stem, right? And this is a stem under question. So Gabriel Oak produced this long, big stem. And recently I saw a ladybug here. She flew away. She was checking for aphids. And maybe there was an infestation of aphids because you see there little tiny bites on the stem. I don't even want to touch the stem. But look at this thorniness. It's not big and buds are damaged. Oh my gosh, this wind had to come right now. Look at the buds. I do have thrips in the garden, but they are not an issue. They are really, I have a lot of predators and they take care of the thrips. So look at the buds and leaves, how crooked they are. But the biggest thing is this thorniness. My Gabriel Oak is a baby rose. If you're growing Gabriel Oak, please do tell me, does it have this nice reddish, not nice, but reddish thorns? Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going into the garage. I'm going to take the spray and spray this rose shaded because right now it's sunny and I don't want to damage it. But in the studies, the neem oil showed some sort of a beneficial effect on all the mites. But these are the mites which are spreading virus. And once virus infects the rose, that's it. The rose has to be removed, and that's the most effective way of... Oh, there are aphids right here. I can see them. All right, my ladybug missed them. And rose rosette disease is such a difficult disease to treat in the garden because once rose is infected, that's it. And I don't let any gardener, maintenance people to come into my garden. But look, here we have this hedge. And this hedge is treated by folks who are coming in. And Gabriel Oak is growing right there. These mites, they do travel on boots and clothes. And the maintenance people, landscapers, they just travel through 10 gardens a day, all the stuff they bring with them and they share. All right, let's see what I have. I'm not sure if I have, what do I have here? Insecticidal super soap. It doesn't have, what does it have? It has spinosad. I'm looking for neem oil. No, I don't want to deal with this now. That's spinosad, rose. What else do I have? Miracle Grows. That's for my plants. No, I don't have it. Okay, I'm going to use this rose and flower spray, which I keep for all the people whom I help with roses. Mites, spider mites. I'm going to spray this one, Bio Advance, and I usually recommend it to people. I'm going to mix it, and that's the end of that. Yeah, let's go. Look at this rose. Oh, also blooms are being spent. Let me quickly show you my not Gabriel Oak, Roald Dahl rose right here. It's a tiny little presence here. I remember when I was planting it, I had such big dreams about this rose being nice and big here. Well, as you can see, after several years, because of shade, look, all this shade here. This rose is only now, briefly, is in the sun, and the presence is very quiet. Blooms are quickly spent, and these 4 roses or 5 roses are staying nice and quiet here. What can you do? All right, off we go, another generous gardener. And I have such a healthy soil. I can't imagine how frustrated people can be when they just start on a very poor soil and all sorts of diseases are coming along. All right, and I do not like to use it. The systemic stuff. But this is a clear case that I will have no reservations using it, because I don't want my roses to start going one after another. So those mites, if they are present there, they have to be killed. They cannot spread that disease. And usually those mites, they do love to stay around the rose, so they are connected to their host rose. But the fact that they even got into my garden, well, I'm not sure yet if those are if that is a rose disease, but precautions are needed, and I need to protect that rose against the sun. My Gabriel oak is going to stay undercover all the way till the evening, because I don't want any beneficial insects being killed. And we will see. I will keep you posted. I'm really hoping that it's just severe infestation of aphids, and now that stem is somewhat deformed. But again, that thorniness is getting me nervous, and I'm hoping I won't see any witch's broom there. I will watch that stem every day, monitor it closely, and I will keep you posted. I can't imagine, again, people who move into the soil where there is no beneficial community, beneficial insects community, and there is no that healthy equilibrium of good bugs and bad bugs. How frustrated they can be. And here in my garden kind of takes care after itself. So this is a huge frustration. Rose rosette disease. It's like a nightmare for every rosarian, including myself. I might just as well go and take care of this water fountain and just relax. It needs washing. This thing needs to be taking out, this wild strawberry weed, and maybe a juga being planted or something. I just need to unwind. Happy gardening. I will see you in our next video.